Welcome to episode 26 of the Cards and Cartridges podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, aka OG Retro. I'm here with my man, Chris, Koozie Retro Games. How you doing, bro? What's going on Friday?
What is 26 in Roman numerals?
26 in Roman numerals is XXVI.
Look at you go.
Bro, that was not planned. That's because I'm a learned student and Koozie is...
God, my dogs are going ballistic. I'm sorry if you can hear that.
We literally click record and the dogs go crazy. But that's an inside joke because Koozie actually doesn't know Roman numerals. Why did you ask me that question?
I just randomly thought of it, testing your knowledge.
Look at that,
dude.
If
you knew your Roman numerals.
Bro, I'm quick.
I would have thrown like a sigma in there, some Greek letters. That was
a relatively easy one too. But anyways, we got some good topics today. We're talking about another Bolo segment. This one being specific sports games to look out for. We'll be talking about the our most memorable online gaming moments, segueing into a topic about proximity chat and voice chat, toxicity online, which I'm totally a fan of, to be honest. We'll be talking about the GTA trilogy remaster news, and it's coming to Switch, PS5, Xbox, all them things, and whether or not it is ridiculous that companies continue to milk these old games into oblivion. And whether, Koozie's bringing us through a new segment called Overrated or Underrated, which will be pretty fun. It's, a lot of podcasts do, but that's okay. We're going to put our own spin on it. And lastly, a caught them slipping topic, which means we're going to be talking about stories in which we caught people slipping. Maybe we got the deal for too cheap. Maybe they had no idea what they had. Something like that. Koozie, tell us about specific sports games to look out for in this week's Be on the Lookout For segment.
So normally sports games are not worth money. You kind of see them and you kind of look over them because they make a new one every single year. So they're not worth the paper they're printed on. But there are certain sports games that are worth money. And a good rule of thumb to figure out what sports games are worth money is the last sports game or the last sports game released on that system is typically worth money. For example, on Xbox 360 and PS3, NCAA Football 14 is worth money because it is not only the last one released on those systems, but it is the last NCAA football game released in general. Now there is I think they are coming out with a new one, so that price may dip of that, but it's still about a $70 to $90 game. It's a good one to look out for. If you look at the GameCube, if you look at NCAA Basketball 2K3, the last NCAA basketball game on the GameCube, that's an over $100 sports game right there for the GameCube.
I had no idea.
Yeah. I saw it at a local game store a while ago, and then another local game store just got it in yesterday. NBA Hang Time 95 on the Sega CD is a $250 game.
Okay. Sega CD is like a Bolo just in general.
But I mean, you see like Pebble Beach Golf and you're like, okay, it's not $2, maybe it's $15.
Right.
But then another one,
$200 for a basketball game.
Another one I had written down is NCAA Basketball 10 on the Xbox 360. That's an expensive one also.
That's why, and I got to check. I have this huge crate of Xbox games I haven't even really looked through, and there's a lot of sports games in there. I got to look because, look, it's a be on the lookout for. Those are some just things you're not going right away. Like, this is worth hundreds of dollars. You're like, this is probably $5, $2, whatever. But you got to be a little bit more careful with the sports games. That's a good tip.
Like we talked about last week with Atari, it's like, don't totally look over Atari. Like, just don't push it to the side. But you don't got to spend time looking through every. Just give it a quick glance over. And if there's something that you don't recognize or something that looks maybe it's like older in a system's life cycle, go ahead and give it a quick look up.
Yeah, that's a good point, dude. Awesome. Let's get into our first quote unquote real segment. Bolo segment's real, but this is a new segment or new topic. Most memorable online gaming moments. Chris, let me start off by asking, what game would you say you played most online? Like the most hours logged on to online?
Yeah, so there's a couple. There is Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the PS3.
That's what I figured. You'd probably say something like that, which is cool.
Put a ton of time into that. Okay. I've talked about before on the podcast, a iPhone game, Happy HAYPI Kingdom. Kind of like a Clash of Clans type deal.
Okay, I forgot about that.
That's so hell funny. Out of that.
That is so funny.
There's stories that go along with that.
Yes.
Those are about the two most online games I've played. What about you?
I mean, I would say like the two like nerdiest ones and the ones that I still play to this day, are World of Warcraft, RuneScape, two classics.
Mm-hmm.
And then third, like I would probably go to like a Call of Duty or something like that too, is like my most like on like video gamer kind of like
Did you play
online
Call of
gamer.
Duty more than Halo?
Online probably, but
Yeah.
like Halo, I played couch co-op like hours and hours and
Yeah.
hours and hours. But I think online I played more Call of Duty and definitely had some good toxic moments. Back in the old days when like lobby chat and Modern Warfare 2, oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Lobby chat Modern Warfare 2, so toxic. It was awesome. But of something a little bit less toxic, I'll talk about first. One of my earliest, I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast, but I was telling my story. I was telling the story to my brother the other day. I don't know how it came up, but, and stop me if I've said this before, but the only wait, okay, another question for you. Do you curse a lot? Like do you like say like fuck, like just dropping F-bombs a lot?
Not usually when I was playing online, because when I was playing Black Ops or
Mhm.
the phone game, maybe in the phone game more, because there was no voice chat. It was just like text chat.
Yeah.
So I could get and I was younger. So
Yeah.
my parents aren't big into like cursing, and they would yell at me if I did.
Yeah.
So not normally. And if I was playing like Black Ops, I was usually like in the family room or the living room or something like that. I didn't have like a dedicated I didn't have a TV in my room, so I wasn't in my room alone just grinding.
Yeah.
So I was normally around people, so I had to keep it. I was more of the
You're keeping it clean.
list. Now, were you more of the listen and laugh type of guy, or were you the guy giving people crap?
No, I usually gave a lot of people crap. But I was gonna say, like, I cursed a lot. And like when I was 13, I joined a WoW raiding guild. So like a serious guild that would like had like times every night, whatever, like Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, that you'd have to be online and like be doing stuff and everything. And it was run by this like really sweet older Southern gentleman, like thick Southern accent. And but he wanted everyone to like clean up their mouths, like you couldn't curse. And it was weird, dude. It was just like, but that was the only time I've ever like stopped cursing.
Yeah.
I swear, like he was so cool and so nice. And like I forget like why we did it really. Like I forget like why we didn't curse, but like we didn't say like bad words. And I
It was
was
just like the
13.
stigma around your clan that he
Yeah, yeah,
wanted.
yeah, exactly. We just didn't curse or anything. We were really polite. It was cool, man. I was a really polite 13-year-old for a while. And then like, and that was only in WoW, because like if I hopped on to like Call of Duty or whatever, it just, I think I got real back into toxicity, but it was so funny, man. And shout out that guild. I forget we were, if any, but like, I mean, zero shot, but Manaroth server around the years of, I mean, I was 13. So that's how many years? Holy shit. How many years ago was that?
12.
Yeah,
You
12
25.
Manaroth 12 years ago. Uh my name's Raw on that server, RAW, pretty sick name. But I was in a guild. I forget what the guild's name was, of course, but there was a guy named like Jeb or Jed or something with J-E, Gem, I don't know, and then a night elf hunter named Annie Oakley. Amazing people. Shout out those two people.
Do you ever want to go back and like, this is gonna sound like weird, but like contact your old quote unquote friends from these like servers and like
Oh my,
see where they're at
that's
like
what I'm
now in
trying to do
life?
right now. Like I
Yeah.
wish, I wish I could talk to this guy. Like though both those two guys, the guild leader and that the like other, because I got eventually I was promoted to like a pretty high rank in that guild.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of crazy. But yeah, I dude, I would love to
Now,
see.
did your friend, I guess maybe not friends, but more like parents or anything like that, or maybe friends who didn't do a lot of like online games, ever look at you like weirdly that you were like
Everyone
talking
hated
to
me,
these
bro.
people all day,
Oh,
every day,
oh
and
no.
like see that kind of like creepiness that these old guys are running these servers?
I mean, I guess I feel like I remember my parents definitely having some questions, but also
Yeah.
realizing it was like harmless. Like I and if to be honest, like if I had a kid, I would definitely have questions too. Like
Oh yeah.
you gotta be like, you have to know what they're doing. Like, I feel like you have to know while giving them privacy, you need to know that they're safe, you know?
Yeah.
And like these people that were doing these like running the raids, they were just gamers, and these guys are cool. So I think it was just like more of like a, yeah, you can get into some weird trouble, like weird, I don't even want to be funny about it. Like, you can get into some danger on the internet for sure, but like, you know, it's also like there's wholesome communities around for sure. So
like the OJ and Koozie claim sales.
Exactly.
They're wholesome.
But here's the thing, nowadays there's like no voice, there's like very few games with proximity chat and voice chat, and like it's kind of lame.
Now because I know I played Fortnite, you played Fortnite. I don't know if they made any updates recently. Is there voice chat in Fortnite?
Just with your team, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess there's just with your team. What about in Warzone? Is it pretty much the same thing?
No, Warzone has proximity chat, which is fire. Warzone's one of the only games, and proximity chat means like if you die, so if you kill someone and you're close to them, you have like a couple of seconds to talk to each other.
And they did that in the old like Black Ops too.
Yeah,
like that was also
amazing.
And like, I mean, the biggest time you saw the toxicity or the banter or the chat going on was when you're in the pregame lobby.
Yeah, the pregame lobbies is where it went down, dude. Modern Warfare 2 is where I became a literal man.
Were you ever the dude to blast your music into your speaker?
No, that was a weird move. I hated those people. So if you were that kid, get out of here. But no, we need those back, man. I want pregame. I wish Fortnite lobbies there's 100 people in that lobby. There is no reason we shouldn't have just absolute chaos in the voice lobby.
But I mean, Call of Duty lobbies, you're looking at like 12, 15 people.
That's more intimate, no doubt.
100 would be too chaotic. I feel like
so do it 100 people in the lobby, but do proximity chat. You have to be within like a certain little bit of each other in the lobby to be able to talk to each other. Let's go. Like, why I can't tell the 12-year-olds that are fucking shitting on me that I'm gonna kill them next round. I just don't understand. We need that to happen. Epic Games, listen to this podcast, number one, and number two, make that change in your game because it'd be fun.
Now, were you ever the dude to send like messages after the game? Like, if you didn't get a chance to say what you wanted in this, but you're sending them a message.
No, but recently my brother and I've been running a lot of duos on Fortnite. We've been getting pretty good. We went on a fucking crush mission yesterday, like 4 or 5 win day, like doing really well and just playing really well. And there were a couple games where kids, after I killed them, added his friend to try and talk shit or something. And that usually doesn't happen. And I'm not like humble brag, I guess, but I got a couple ads yesterday from a couple salty 12-year-olds, I think, because we were popping off. Absolutely popping off. So yeah, I just want them to reintroduce kind of I miss voice chat. And guys, if those listening, if you guys miss voice chat and these kind of beautiful ways, please sign a petition, write a petition, bring back voice chat in all these games.
I'd love to hear some of you guys' funny stories on just like pregame lobby. Like everybody's got pregame lobby stories.
That's what I'm saying. There's some good pregame lobby stories, and like the story about like your first nuke in Call of Duty and like like the feeling that had. Forget it, bro.
It's like your first win in Fortnite.
It really. Oh my god, first win.
Do you remember your first win in Fortnite?
Not particularly, but like I'm sure it was sick. Like, and the thing was, Fortnite is such an interesting game to me. Because number one, I played it when it was in beta on the PC. So before it really took off, and then I stopped playing like completely. I was like, it's a cool game, but like I didn't have anyone to play with. And then my brother comes home from college. I think it was season 4 of Fortnite. So that was like 4 or 5 years ago now. Season 4 of Fortnite. Yeah. And he was good at the game. And it had been years since I had played video games with my brother. And I was like, holy shit, like my brother is good at a video game. This is so weird. Like, and like sick. Like I want to play games with, like, I'd love to play a game with you. So like, I like started grinding on Fortnite with him and we both got sick at Fortnite. And what was the question again? What did you ask me something about Fortnite?
Did you remember your first win?
Oh, my first win. And so, yeah, it had to be chilling with him. And like, it was a duo win for sure. I don't think I got my first solo win was probably after that.
Does he plays on Xbox, doesn't he?
Yeah, he plays on console, and for the longest time until we got him a Xbox Series S, he was playing on the OG original Xbox, like the original Xbox One brick, like
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous. And he doesn't use paddles, like apparently that's crazy that he doesn't use like the controllers with the paddles on them,
Mhm.
because he can build like just so fast. Like, it's
That's
so fast.
insane.
He's so fast with the edits and the building. It's like, I don't understand. As someone who plays on PC and can't do that shit, it makes no sense to me how he can pull that shit off on a controller. So yeah, I definitely got my first win with him. But bring back toxic pre-game lobby chats. I want it, dude. I'm here for
Got
it.
100%. Those, and like I said, I was more of the just to sit back and listen type of guy, but I would be just cracking up listening. Or the feeling you get when you shit on somebody and you get that 3 seconds of them just grilling you because
Yeah,
you
you
killed
hear the
them
mic
is the
thrown
best
across the
feeling.
room.
It is the best feeling ever. And then it's just like, and then Call of Duty lobbies were cool because like you then like the game ended, you didn't start with a brand new set of players like you do in Fortnite. Like you
Yeah.
got to be with the same people, so it would just be this constant banter back and forth.
Oh yeah, that's right. You could just sesh games with the same lobby over
Yeah.
and over and over again. I forgot
And that's
that.
what made it fun.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, it would only replace people if they left.
Yes.
And then it would run with the same lobby and just replacing people. That's fucking nuts. Whoa. I forgot all about that.
That was like, did you back in like the Modern Warfare days, did you ever get into like trick shotting and all that stuff?
Oh yeah, 360 trick shot competitions at Rust, homies. Like, let's go.
No, you were that go-to?
I mean, I would still to this day. I'd love to 1v1 someone on a quick snipe battle on Rust, MW2. What is it called? Intervention only. Like,
Yeah, all that
where
stuff.
we at, dude? Like,
That's the
I'm a gamer.
classic.
I'm a gamer. I love that game. And that game again turned me into a man.
Dude, that was Black Ops 2 for me. Like that's the first game I like sat down and like played like Master Prestige, had everything unlocked, all that stuff, and just played it. It was like you guys know me. I don't do a lot of solo gaming, so I prefer online gaming. No, and I don't play games right now. But I guess if I did have a newer system, I would play Fortnite or Apex or Warzone, things like that. I feel like I would, because I did play Fortnite at college on my roommate's PS4 and things like that. It's just, I don't want to spend the money for a new system. And I feel like I'm just too busy right now to actually sit down and play a game.
It's hard to get time in, but truthfully, that's what I like about like some of those games like Fortnite. You can, the way my brother and I, we don't ever play it for like longer than an hour or an hour and 15 minutes. It's like, we'll hop on for an hour and 15, play like 3 games. And it's fun like that.
There's those type of games, but then there's the type of games where it's like when we were kids, we had more time. So you with like WoW or me with like the High Kingdom, to where like you had like a schedule.
I play 12 hours a day.
Like I would be checking my phone in class, like setting alarms in the middle of the night to do stuff.
I would play in class.
Yeah.
It was bad.
You were like addicted to it.
Oh yeah, 100%. I like full on. I mean, yeah. I was just so engrossed in it for sure. But like
mine was a phone game, so it was even like easier for me to like be on it or check things. And like my friends like, hey, they're like, Chris, you're like always on this game. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, I guess I don't know what it is that, like, I don't know, man. It was just such a, like, I feel like a lot of times being addicted to something is like something you might not even like. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't even like what they're addicted to, right? Like true drug addicts, I feel like don't even actually like the drug.
Where did this conversation go?
Because you call me a WoW addict, and I kind of agree. Like, but I'm analyzing it. Like the thing is though, I just like the game is so fucking good.
Dude, the game is so good. You had the sense of like community.
Like
you had your clan on there, which turned into your friends.
Exactly.
So you're talking to them, you're doing stuff with them, and it's these level up games. Like there's always that like grind
Yeah,
to like level
100%.
up
That's definitely
further
what it was. But it's
or
interesting
grow your
because like
base.
it almost didn't feel, what I'm saying, I guess, is almost didn't feel like a bad addiction because like I there weren't many things that it like in affected because I was doing
I mean,
actually like yeah,
you
as a
were also
kid,
13, so
yeah,
there's
I didn't
nothing
have
you have
responsibilities to like
very few responsibilities. Looking back on it and how much you played it, and you're like, God, I was addicted to that, but it wasn't affecting everything. I guess if you're 25 or 22 like me, and it's like you're cutting into like work or you're cutting into like hanging out with friends or like doing actual things,
yeah,
then it's maybe a. I mean, if I was 22 now, if I'm playing that game where I'm setting alarms in the middle of the night where I gotta be up at work for work in the morning, I need to take a step back and analyze.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I definitely don't do that anymore. But yeah, those are the WoW days. Anyways, let's go to the next topic. We've been talking about that for a while. The GTA trilogy remaster. So GTA trilogy, that being GTA 3 Vice City and San Andreas are getting remasters in the Unreal Engine, combining new and old graphics, a source says from Rockstar. And they are going to put it on the Switch. They're going to put it on the Xbox Series SX, all that, the PS5s. What do we think? They're continuing to milk these old games for their monetary gain. Is it okay? Do we really want this? Does anyone really want this?
I think it's a cool thing. It's more of a, oh, this is cool, and you'll pick it up and play it for a little bit, but it's not a new GTA 6 that people have been wanting, that where they're actually going to sit down and play the campaign and play online and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so they also say no details were shared about gameplay, but Kotaku has been told and by the way, I'm quoting stuff from Kotaku. Kotaku has been told these remaster titles are trying to stay true to the PS2 era GTA games as much as possible. Now, that's not good. Like, if I want the PS2 era games, I'll go play them on the PS2 or use it backwards. It's just, if they're gonna remaster the games, remaster them. Don't keep them true to the PS2 era. I don't know. Like, don't. It just seems silly that game companies think that, like, when is there going to be innovation again? When can we expect like a cool new series? It's been so long. I feel like I mean,
Dude, wait, guess when did GTA 5 come out? I just googled it.
I'm gonna guess 2010.
2000 September 17th, 2013.
Wow. I mean, I guessed real early, but I would have get if I was really. At first, I thought 2012, and I was like, I'll
Yeah.
go a little earlier.
But that's
Uh,
so long. Why haven't they came out with a GTA 6?
because it's more profitable and easier for them to just keep releasing GTA 5 over and over again, and now releasing older games over again. It's fucking insane. I don't think anybody actually wants this shit.
No,
Chat,
like I said,
I
it's
keep
gonna be
saying chat because I've been streaming, but like people who are listening to the pod, if you want this, that's cool. Not like knocking that, but I just want to understand why. Why do you want GTA 5 remastered in a way that's not remastered? Like, give it some online features, give it something, give it, or not GTA 5, GTA 3, 2, and 1. Like, I don't know.
So it's just the PS2 games being remastered to the newer systems. So
Yeah,
HD
it sounds like,
graphics and
yeah, it sounds like, and it's not even fully HD graphics because they say they're using some of the old graphics too. So it sounds like they're using a mix of the two. It's going to be some weird mix, and it's going to be on the new systems. I don't
will you play
know.
it?
No, fuck no, I'm not going to play it.
No.
Fuck no. And I've beaten one of those three GTA games. I think it was Vice City.
Yeah.
So it's not even like I don't like those. I do like the GTA games. They're not my favorite games, but and I would honestly be the perfect person to want to play a remastered GTA games. But if they're not going to be remastered, like, why would I want to? I'd rather play them on the original hardware if they're not like new.
I
I don't
guess
know.
I don't know. I guess they are. I mean, we're looking at it though from a collector standpoint where we own a PS2. You got
No,
to
but
think
that's
the
not even
majority of
true.
the
I'm
people
thinking,
don't own a PS2. So when they haven't thought about, they probably haven't thought about the older GTA
yeah,
games in
yeah,
years and years.
that's
So
a
when they
fair
do
point.
this, when they do make this re-release, the majority of their customers are not collectors that can just pick up their PS2 in their collection and play it. So
Yeah.
they say, "Oh my God, like I haven't played these since I was 10. I
Yeah.
can't wait to grind these and replay these. So I can see it coming from a non-collector point of view.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. And that's definitely the counterpoint, like the primary one. Um, but like it's still sucky. Like it doesn't make it
Oh,
any
I
less,
don't
it
agree.
doesn't
I
make
agree
it
with you.
any
Yeah.
less sucky in the sense like, yeah, they're gonna be happy, but they're not getting as good a product as they should, you know, like the people that are excited about this are it's like snake oil. Like it doesn't feel like any of these games that they've remade and reported, like Skyrim. Like they just re-released Skyrim over and over. Bethesda, I guess this is just re-releasing Skyrim over. It's like, come on, like do something different. Like no matter what graphical changes, no matter what improvements or whatever, like I don't know, like I just think yes, while these are like cool classic games, and now that I'm saying this, and I don't know if you know what Skyrim is, right?
Yes.
So like before Skyrim came like Oblivion and Morrowind, two like very classic titles, also made
Mhm.
by Bethesda, and like we're gonna see remasters of them. I fucking guarantee it, dude. I guarantee we're gonna see remasters of Morrowind and Oblivion. That's coming
Those
before we
PC games.
yeah, PC and original Xbox, and that might be it. But we're gonna see remasters of those before we see any type of new like Skyrim. You know, it's gonna be like they're not making a new game. I guarantee it, because this is like a trend in the industry of people just like milking old shit, dude.
And we've talked about that before on the podcast with Nintendo, just like re-releasing stuff.
Yeah, Nintendo's got a habit of it. No, like I'm trying to. What was the last one? I mean, they technically just okay. They did a good one recently. Pokemon Snap HD remaster,
Yeah.
right? That was the perfect like reimagining of the old game. It basically was the old game, just
Yes.
like new.
Yes.
That's how a remaster port, whatever, should be done. Like we all love the old game. I don't want to play the same exact game again. Give it to me a little bit new.
Yeah.
And so I think that's just like what I'm asking. Like,
But I mean, from a Nintendo point, like Mario Kart 8, we've had it on so many systems now.
yeah, but even that's not the best example. Like Toad treasure tracker, treasure
Yeah, something
hunter,
like that.
whatever. That game was, it's the same exact game on the Wii U and the Switch.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's doing it for the same reason that like I hate, you know, like I'm hating on. I don't know. I
There's
just want
gotta
to
be
see
a
like
reason
innovation. Well,
why
it's
they're doing
money,
it. They're
money,
getting
money.
money. I don't think they're lazy.
No,
I
they're
mean,
definitely lazy, bro. There's and some aren't, and that's why we see some good games sometimes, because the people that aren't lazy and the developers that aren't lazy are working on those some games that are good, and the rest
Yeah.
just aren't that good. And those developers or those people that are calling the shots just to focus on the money rather than like innovation. Like recently we just saw, I think it was last year, game of the year was Hades. That was a game that was actually like innovate. No game like that has ever won game of the year before. It's like this rogue like 3D rogue like dungeon crawler, like super cool game, super unique, and like that's cool. More stuff like that has to be done. Stop re-releasing GTA and stop re-releasing Skyrim. Give us something new. Stop Nintendo releasing old shit. I pray to God, hope Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes this year are good and they don't flop. Like I don't know. I can rant
what's the
about
new
this a lot.
Pokemon game you were talking about in your story this morning?
Oh, that's Arceus. That's Arceus Legends. That's gonna be the open world, like kind of open world RPG that's coming out. That's what I'm looking for. RPG that's coming out in it's 5 months from now. So what
That's coming out on the Switch.
yeah, coming out on the Switch. And fingers crossed that'll be like fucking awesome, because we really need a good Pokemon game. Other people have liked what they've released, but it's just not me, man. It's not me.
They're done making 3DS games, aren't they?
Yeah. And that's fine.
Do you think Nintendo's gonna come out with quote unquote 4DS or whatever?
No,
like
I think
handheld, or
I
you think they're just gonna stick with the Switch?
Yeah, I think they're done with like handhelds. I think we got the Switch. I mean, the Switch Lite is their handheld, right?
Yeah.
Like the Switch Lite is a perfect handheld. I don't think there's no way. There's no way. No way.
Do you think they're gonna come out with a Game Boy Mini, like a Game Boy Color Mini?
Game Boy Classic or something?
Yeah.
I could see that. Like, although I see them, yeah, it's like, will they do that, or are they gonna put like the Game Boy library on the Switch? Like they have a SNES Classic. I mean, they have it both NES Classic. They have SNES Classics.
Wasn't there rumors about the Nintendo 64
There were
Classic?
rumors about that, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I again, we're complaining about getting ports of old games. I don't care, dude. Give me something new. Give me something spicy. Give me. I seriously, like, I keep saying it, man. Like, I just want something fresh. Give me a cool new game. Like
I went back
most
to the
games
point
just
earlier.
seem the same. And even, I'll say one more rant. Even games that claim to be new and different, and I'm going to use a very specific game. A lot of people like this game. Horizon Zero Dawn on the PlayStation 4. Great game, great graphics, but it's the fucking same game as every other action RPG before it. Like it is just cut and paste. And it does it beautifully, don't get me wrong, but it's cut and paste. It's not that good. It's not that innovative or unique. And maybe this is just me. Maybe I'm just like really tough on this for this reason. Like maybe I just like uniqueness to a degree that other people don't, which is like weird, but I don't know.
Do you think these companies are running out of ideas?
Yes.
They've been making console games for so long. You think they're running out of ideas?
Yeah, 100%. And that's fair. And maybe maybe it's just as simple as that. Maybe it's simple as that's why we don't get so many unique and good games, because it's literally not possible to come up with unique and crazy games because they've just all been done before. And that's
so. What do you
fair.
think is the next step to fix that? VR coming out and the
I was just gonna say,
implementation of VR?
Yeah, maybe like the serious implementation. I think that's when we start to see like some really crazy shit be done again. Like is when VR gets to the point where everyone, like the gaming system, everyone is VR. Like that's the gaming system. It's not the Switch or the Xbox. It's like the VR system that you have.
Because I guess with like GTA 6, for example, I mean, what can they really change? I mean, a GTA game is a GTA game. I mean, you're just different.
Yeah, but
maps,
what if it didn't have, like, see, VR would take it to a fucking another level.
Yes, VR would take it to another level. But I'm saying if they were to come out with a GTA 6 for the new Xbox or PS5, like it's basically the same thing. I mean, like I said, like Maddens are all the same thing. It's just updated teams and updated stadiums.
Right.
I mean, sports games are a different category, obviously, than other games. I mean, they kind of have to be the same thing. But yeah, I think after I said that, I think they are kind of running out of ideas.
Yeah. And but at the same time, there are plenty of indie studios that come out with just like they're thinking on another level. I don't know. You got Hades,
those are
you got
less,
Dead Cells,
those are less popular though. Those are kind of the less popular games. I'm thinking of it from a big franchise point of view.
Yeah, but
and then when they try to do new things and like Call of Duty, like taking Advanced Warfare, for example, where they had the jetpacks or things like that, and that whole implementation, people hated it.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a very tight rope to where you're coming out with new things, but you're also satisfying the audience.
Yeah, I mean, there's specific formulas that they obviously can't ruin, but the games themselves, like the stuff that's coming out, the new quote unquote new stuff that's coming out. I guess I'm not talking about stuff that's being updated. I'm talking about like stuff. I don't know. It's just like new games. Like, don't make a new game that's like an old game. Make a new game. And it's easier said than done.
Creators at Nintendo and Xbox to do a bunch of acid and then just come up with new ideas.
Exactly. I don't know. Anyways, next topic. Let's talk about I think you got one for us. Let's talk about how you want to do overrated or underrated? All right, let's do overrated. Underrated.
My idea for this segment was going to be to throw some I'm so sorry about my dogs, perks of recording a podcast at home at noon, but throw some topics at Ryan. Got him, lost my train of thought. Throw some topics at Ryan, get his thoughts on if that topic is overrated or underrated, or that thing is overrated and why. And then I can also give my 2 cents, and if he's got something he wants to throw at me, we can go that way too. So Ryan, overrated or underrated Nintendo powers?
Ooh. Maybe like
You can also hit me with a
properly I'm gonna say
rated.
like slightly underrated, but like only because I only think they're underrated because not a lot of people like really know that much about. I feel like if people knew the whole scope of what Nintendo Power had to offer, like really got them in their hands, properly rated, and it would be good. But right now, like they're becoming properly rated. They're on the upswing. I can
They're becoming
tell
more popular.
that's what I'm saying. They're becoming more popular, which is cool. And I think they're becoming the proper amount of ratedness.
And I would say they're also underrated. And I kind of hopped on the train early. I mean, I'm up to like 240 issues already.
Yeah, likewise.
And I was buying them in like lots for just like a couple bucks an issue. They're very hard to find just in the wild. Like you don't find Nintendo Power lots just listed on Facebook Marketplace or walking up to garage sales and really finding them. They're difficult to find. Usually when you do find them, they're cheap though. But I know Ryan and I have both sold Nintendo Powers in the claim sales, and they're really popular. People do enjoy them. I just don't think a lot of people know about them.
Yeah.
And when you do collect them, it's cool how when you have the full set and you have the spines facing outwards, they do make a photo based off of the spines. That's something that's cool. And then just like looking through them, there's so much great content in them.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff in them. Cool Pokemon cards, cool inserts, cool soundtracks, cool other stuff. Yeah, definitely. They're getting to be properly rated.
Awesome.
All right, next one.
Going for full sets.
Totally overrated.
Yeah.
Totally fucking overrated. Going for full sets. And I'm going to say I'm going to say both. I'm going to say, okay, slightly more overrated video games wise in terms of cards. Like, I still think it's overrated both.
Yes.
But it's a little bit less overrated in terms of cards. Let me explain. Overrated in terms of video games because some of these sets are like 700 games, 1,000 games, even 280 something games for an
N64. Shit.
So much trash. That's overrated. Marie Kondo or whatever the heck, like less stuff is important to your well-being. Don't collect mindless games that
Marie's Kondo?
Marie's Kondo. Yeah. She's like, just get rid of unnecessary clutter and shit. That's like, she had this life. She wrote a book, dude.
Oh.
She wrote a book. And I mean, I could listen to it. I have so much shit behind me. But like, if you don't, I don't know. I just don't like overrated. Go for stuff you really care about. And then overrated on the Pokemon side, while it is kind of cool for it to go for complete sets, totally overrated in the grand scheme of things. Collect what you really like. There's like if you're going to collect the whole base set, that's 110 cards or 111 cards, 102 cards. And like the last, most of them are common cards that you might not like, or most of them are even a lot of the rare hollows you might not like. So just like collect what you like. If you only like the Charizard, if you only like the Muck or that's in Fossil, if you don't like whatever card, like just get that one. Like don't just collect a set to collect a set. So for that reason, overrated.
Also hitting you with a overrated on that one. And I mean, I say it's overrated, but then I'm contradicting myself because I'm going for full sets of stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you go for like a full set of everything you collect, I guess, but maybe that's just like the collector mindset. Like I'm a collector, I enjoy this stuff, so I want it. I'm going for full sets of like Wii U just because it's a smaller system. I don't really play the Wii U, but I mean, I see the Wii U as an undervalued system, so it could be worth something in the future. So seeing that as an investment, or I mean, N64. I've never played a Nintendo 64 growing up. The games aren't the greatest even now, but I'm just going for it to say I have the full N64 set and giving myself a goal, I guess. I mean, when I get that last game, it's like,
yeah, what are you gonna do?
It's finished. Now what?
Yeah.
And I can see myself getting into the mindset of when I have more space in a house and things like that. Okay, I finished N64. Let's go for GameCube just cause. And then just getting a whole bunch of just like stuff. And Becca, and you're not listening, but for the future, I'm going to reference this. I need you to sit me down and say, Chris, I'm tired of this shit taking over the house.
Yeah.
And when I say shit, I don't need Madden 10 through a billion on the Xbox 360.
Yeah, no. It's just not happening. So
overrated. Next up for me is gonna be hunting online for deals.
I'm gonna say whatever one makes it so less people do it. I want to keep that for myself. I need to hunt online because it's tough to go outside because it's so hot. But let me think. Serious answer, probably underrated. I feel like because yeah, probably underrated. People probably think it's too expensive to hunt online, but oftentimes you can catch deals.
Also, I would agree with that. Um, hit you with a weird bird watching.
Dude, totally underrated. No, let me explain why. I had a very visceral reaction to
I
that.
pulled this one out of nowhere, not expecting a story, and you hit me with a
No, I have
story.
a story about bird watching. 100%, dude. Shout out seventh grade, man. My seventh grade science teacher, weirdest lady ever. Maybe sixth grade. Anyways, her name was Miss Langmuir. I kind of want to see if she's still alive. Uh, but she was a bird freak, and she was a bird freak, and she got us super into I mean, she might have passed away. She was old, but she was super into birds, and she would take it like she would like go, I think she would go against like what the school wanted to take us outside so often to watch birds. Like we would be outside, it's 4 out of 5 classes during a week, like watching birds,
Wow.
bro. So
Were you
bird
guys
watching.
learning, or were they just sitting on a hill
No, she
watching the
would. I
cardinals?
know like a low key weird amount about birds. like it, like I could identify a lot of different bird species for no. Like I don't remember learning this shit, but I just remember it. So yeah, like I do know like more than your average person about birds, and it's because of her. And that's my so bird watching definitely underrated. Go watch some birds. Look for a red if you're in the Northeast and you're around some water, like little marshy environments. Look for the red-winged blackbird. I'd like to consider that bird like my
Your
pal. Like
favorite
that's
bird?
that's my favorite bird. The term spirit animals canceled these days. Can't say that. So it's my whatever animal.
Because I just picked up for free at a garage sale a pair of binoculars, and I've only used like the shitty binoculars to get a concert, like a baseball game, or whatever. But these are like heavy duty binoculars.
Oh
Like they have
yeah.
some weight to them. They're metal,
Hell
and
yeah,
like
dude. You could see
they're
some birds with that.
they're cool. And like I'm like, these are kind of cool. I kind of want to keep them. But then I was on the flip side, like, why do I need binoculars? Like, there's very little things at age 22 I'm gonna need binoculars for, and they're just gonna like take up space. But up north, when I was up north a couple weekends ago, I was working during it, and they have this little like screened in like sunroom type deal. And I was working out there, and they have a bird feeder right outside the window. And these hummingbirds and cardinals and shit like that would just fly up to the bird feeder. And it was great. It was cool to watch.
It's amazing. Amazing. Dude, bird watching. Do it. If people go bird watching. Underrated.
I feel like that's a hobby I'll get into when I'm about like 72.
Dude, get into it now. Start young, bro.
You ever see bald eagle? They have bald
I
eagles
was
up north.
literally just going to ask you that same question. Have you ever seen a bald eagle?
Yeah, there's the
Me
lake right
too,
by the
bro.
cabin up north,
Sick.
and there's a bald eagle that hangs out around there.
Dude, one of the most incredible just things. So cool. Bald eagles are rad.
Screams America.
Definitely screams America. Just it's powerful, bro.
Yeah.
Bald eagles are powerful. Any
Are
any
they
other overrated, underrated? They're
are
not
they
extinct.
they're
They're not endangered.
I was about to say they're invasive. No, they're not
Nah,
invasive.
they're straight up chilling.
I thought they were endangered.
I don't think so. I think bald eagles are chilling. There's a lot of them.
I got one more for you.
Yeah.
Action figures.
Oh man. Hmm. That's like tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say overrated.
You
I'm
think
gonna
so?
say overrated because there's just a lot of clutter, bro. It's a lot of clutter, and I feel like action figures are kind of like video games solve the problem that action figures had. Like action figures are trying to be video games, right? Like you have to do a lot of imagining and like
Yeah.
there's a lot of work on yourself
Mm-hmm.
to create this world for action figures. Video games just do that. They do that.
Yes.
And there's no guessing. There's no imagine like right. Like action figures trying to create an alternate world. Video games create that world. So
I totally see it. I totally see it.
overrated
I'd
as
agree with
fuck.
overrated also. As a kid, properly rated. They're cool as a kid. Growing up and as an
Yeah,
adult,
I'll say that.
I have no desire to collect action figures and just I guess, but people get into like displaying them, and so spinning off from action figures, I guess where you can kind of really create the alternate world for yourself is like model train sets. People take that so seriously, like
That's
creating.
but that's like in my eyes cooler to me than action figures almost
Yeah.
because like you are building like a whole display and world
Yes.
and shit. Like action figures like enough. I don't want to offend anyone by saying this, but like if you are my age or older and you're like sitting there creating and playing with action figures and trying to create this world and space, like just play a video game, dude. Like seriously, just play a video game. It's way
Yeah.
less, it's way less embarrassing, way more cool. Uh I don't know. Displaying action figures, that's one thing. I guess all good. But again, I don't like the clutter. So
I
that's
mean, I
my
guess if you
take on that.
collect your child, say you grew up with original
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles and you want to collect them, good,
Yeah.
cool, good for you. But if you're going to like Walmart and buying the latest Walking Dead figures,
Yeah.
overrated.
Overrated. Overrated. Play a video game. That's
I like this segment.
I'm gonna clip that because dude, I like my comparison and I like my description there. So yeah, just don't play with action figures. Play a video game.
No offense to anybody.
Yeah. Last, do we have time for one more or
Yeah, we're good. We got kind of a hard stop coming up, but I need to log back into work in about 5 minutes. If the computer starts ringing, I'll just mute myself, and then Ryan will tell you guys about his new whatever he's got going on in life.
all right. All right. Last segment. Chris is gonna start us caught him slipping, catching deals in the wild and seeing what happened there. What happened?
So where I wanted to go with this topic is obviously we've caught people at garage sales slipping, and mom getting rid of Jimmy's old Nintendo 64 games who she doesn't know what she has. But I'm talking more from a people that should know what they have standpoint, but you still caught them slipping. So one that I've found is just game stores. I've caught a couple game stores slipping before. Like maybe they priced the wrong thing. They priced just the thing wrong. So when I got like Advance Wars, this was probably a year and a half ago or whatever. I got Advance Wars complete in box on the Game Boy for like $20. And I think they priced it as like a loose cartridge, but it's like an $80 game. So that was a cool, like, caught him slipping moment. I bought somebody's collection, and after I bought his collection, he was like mailing it to me, and he's like, "Oh, I just had some loose disc PS1 games, nothing special. I just threw them in." And then like Bronagate or whatever on the PS1 was just randomly in the loose disc, which is like $100 game.
That's
So
crazy.
that was a cool little just like, oh, toss in type deal that they didn't know what they had.
Yeah.
What I have the item now, so I had to pay up for it, but how the person before me got it was crazy. So I have a graded Twilight Princess HD on the Wii U, and I paid 250
I had no
bucks.
idea you had that. Damn.
Yeah, so I paid 250 bucks at it's like the big box one too with like the figure.
Oh, right. I
So-
did know you had that. That's cool.
So I paid 250 bucks at the local game store for that with trade credit. Already a great deal. It goes like complete pretty much for 250. So it's sealed and graded. Great deal. But the person who traded it into the game store got it for 50 bucks at another game store because they had the graded copy of Twilight Princess HD and they had a GameCube copy of Twilight Princess, and they just flipped they had the Twilight Princess something else and they flipped the price tags on accident and set it out on the shelf. And then that guy just randomly walked in and picked up the graded copy for 50
Oh
bucks.
my gosh. What?
Yeah.
Yo. Yeah, that's the definition of calling him slipping. I don't know if I remember there being one situation at I feel like it's always local game stores. There's a local game. I should go back to this one. I haven't been in a while. There's this store near me, maybe like 20 minutes away. And I remember walking in, I feel like I got Ogre Battle for really cheap. I feel like I paid like, I don't know, like 35 bucks for Ogre Battle or something. Like something that I was like, this is a really good deal.
Yeah.
And I ended up buying like, there were some GBA games that were CIB that I bought. Like their prices were just like not in their favor. Like some stuff was way overpriced, and then some was just like, this is weird.
Yeah. Keep an eye out for complete in-box Game Boy and like just Game Boy, so Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, original Game Boy, things like that games. A lot of those people are finding that a lot of those are really uncommon, and they're trying to pick them up now. For example, we're at my local game store, and I was with my buddy Jake, and we're just scanning through the Game Boy games, and we had recently saw in like high-end game room with a Facebook group, someone was selling a graded one for like $600. Some like David Beckham soccer or whatever. I think it was David Beckham soccer. Great one for like $600. He's like, sports games, why?
Yeah.
So then we're scanning through the complete in box Game Boy games just on the shelf, and there's David Beckham soccer complete in box for like $4.99. He's like, well, a graded one was just $600. And he looked up on eBay. He was like, there's none listed, none posted. I mean, I'll pick it up for $4.99. So he picks it up for $4.99, throws it on eBay for auction. He's like, I mean, it should go for more than $4.99. There's none posted. Got an offer for somebody like 2 days into the auction. Hey, we take $400 for this right now.
Crazy.
And he took it and sold it. Yeah. So he turned $4.99 to $400.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So check that out, guys. That was a great closing statement there, because that brings together our first segment to our last. Be on the lookout for sports games, right? Mm-hmm. And that might be rare like that. And then if you're catching shop slipping, catch shop slipping. It's kind of sick.
We had a quick viewer question.
Yeah, hit us with the viewer question.
So every Wednesday we throw up on the @Cards and Cartridges Instagram. Give us a follow if you don't already. And also, if you guys are enjoying the podcast, give us a review, like, comment, subscribe, wherever you're listening. Click the bells, the notifications, the dingly-doos.
All those things.
So it kind of goes along with my underrated or overrated segment with Nintendo Powers.
Okay.
So we kind of talked about what we thought of. He said early 90s Nintendo comics. I don't know if you have any thoughts on what you think about early 90s Nintendo comics.
Other than that, like, I don't really know much. I don't know. Like, I'm truthfully not the person to ask.
Neither am I. So I didn't know if you knew anything. So we're gonna take a spin on it. So let's replace early 90s Nintendo comics with Nintendo Powers. We already gave our thoughts on that. But I guess a very underrated thing, and something you've done already, is what do you think about grading Nintendo Powers?
Oh, facts, dude. It's definitely underrated. I don't understand. I think it's going to become more. People are going to do it. Like, it's going to happen. And I don't know why it hasn't happened more before. I know why, because there's 200 something issues. People really haven't like figured out which issues are worth grading besides like the first one, and then other like very few select ones. I fuck with it. Like, I understand like magazines are made for reading. You can literally there are perfect scans of every single Nintendo Power online. Yep. Like, you can find scans and archive versions of every single Nintendo Power. So if you want to look through them, you can look through them. So I'm fine with like that argument. Doesn't really like, don't grade it because you can't look through it. Like, that doesn't whatever to me. And like, some of these are like truly collectible items. Like, so like the graded one I have is issue number 173 with the Eon ticket and still attached, never used, like that kind of thing. So it's like, it's preserving I think things should be graded to preserve a moment in time. This is a moment in time that you can't replicate online in a scan, you know?
I have a sealed Nintendo Power in my collection still, in like the baggie it came with.
That would be super cool to get.
That's
graded.
Something cool.
I've seen a couple of those.
Bottom of my tote, but I think grading Nintendo or Nintendo Powers could be cool, and they could display really well, especially if maybe it's like one with because the covers on Nintendo Powers are so badass. So maybe it's a franchise that you really mess with. Maybe it's got a Kirby 64 cover, and like Kirby 64 was like your game as a kid, just how you'd want it. Like Ryan, he's trying to get like complete in box, or like he's got a graded Pokemon Silver because like that game was his childhood. So if Kirby 64 was his childhood, why not get one with a dope Kirby cover on it and get it graded just for preserving?
I kind of see myself maybe doing that with Nintendo Powers, like going for the ones that have like real meaning like that. So like that, I mean, that's why I got the Eon ticket one, right? It's because like Pokemon is not only meaningful to me, but like that was a legendary issue of that magazine.
Yeah.
So I could see myself getting a couple of them graded and grading magazines really isn't that expensive, which is cool via CGC. It's if you do Warp Zone, it's expensive. It's like $100 or something, which is whatever.
Are you happy with how the case looks, all that
Yeah.
stuff that you have?
Yeah, the
You
case
like
is
their
fire.
grading style?
Yeah, I love the CGC comic book slab or magazine slab cases. They're really nice, like thick. It just is what it should be. I don't know, like, and they grade fair. They give like good info on the top. Like they have like on the one that I have like Eon ticket attached, like that kind of
That's
thing. So
cool.
like like how complete it is and etc. So yeah, dude, like if you're into Nintendo Power and you are also into preserving collectibles in that kind of way, I think sending your prized Nintendo Powers into CGC is a cool little move. They display really nicely, and it's something that hasn't really caught on fully yet, but be part of the reason it does, because I think it's gonna pop off soon. It's cool.
Definitely think so. And I think that is the end of episode 26.
End of episode 26, guys. Thank you again for another week of listening, another week of attending the claim sale. If you weren't in the last one, be sure to tune in every Thursday or most Thursdays live at 8 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/OG Retro, to see me and the dude right here, Koozie, slang some deals and drank some beers live. Thank you guys again. Listen to the podcast, for listening to the podcast, following, subscribing, all that jazz. Have a great rest of your week. Peace.
See ya.